Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the San Gabriel Mountains here in Southern California. About an hour's drive outside of Los Angeles, and it is amazing what a difference an hour can make. This is a gorgeous park. It's great. Lots of big pine trees, lots of big boulders. I think today is going to be a day about close-ups and detail shots, which is perfect. That's kind of what I'm in the mood for. I just kind of want to slow down and observe some details. So that's what we're going to try to do today. Of course, we're going to stay open to anything that does present itself, but I think there's going to be plenty of close-up, intimate detail shots to be had today. And I'm starting right now with this one right here. I've got this great rock coming up out of the ground and this big, beautiful pine tree that is growing up literally around it. I have this big knob kind of jutting out of the side of it with this great little green lichen all over the side. That's my first composition of the day, my little warm-up shot. And I think this is a great way to start. So let me tuck into this here and show you what we're doing. All right, friends, here we are. We're set up on the shot. A really nice, really simple shot, kind of this texture. These two characters, my boulder here and my tree here, just into my frame. The boulder is kind of the bottom third of the frame, kind of arching and curving down out of frame at the bottom. And then I've got this great nub growing out of the side, again with these little bits of lichen on it, so adding a little pop of color in it. I'll show you here what we are looking at. You can see here my little rock right here coming in at the bottom. Have my big nubule of the tree, the bark, all the textures and the patterns and the color in that bark coming in, and then all these great little bits of lichen that are just sprouting out around it. Again, just adding a little pop of color, a little bit of interest. It's a really great little scene and a great way to start the day. Shooting this guy here at an ISO 100 f/16. What are we at? 1/6 of a second. So pretty simple little shot. I am doing a focus stack, easy, simple focus stack. One focus on the rock because it's so close to my camera here. Another focus on the tree there in the background. Make sure I get all that. Those two together should give me plenty. At f/16, this whole thing should be sharp, no problem. And there we go. There is our great start to a day here at the San Gabriel Mountains, doing the Mount Hillier loop trail from the Horseman campgrounds, I think it is. But beautiful little 3.5 mile loop. And we got some exploring to do. We got 3.5 miles still to cover. I haven't even started yet. All right, friends, I think we're in for a long day. I've moved another 40 yards, maybe, if that even, and found this beautiful fallen tree here. And it's the bottom side of it, the roots here are exposed, and they've just been kind of eaten away by ants and termites and just weathered by the sun and the wind. And it's just got all of this beautiful twisting character going on in it. It's characterful. That's the word for it. It's just so much going on, so much texture and pattern and detail, and even just a little bit of color. This section I found has this little bit of red running through it here in the front, which is really great. I love that. Little knob coming down to the bottom left of the frame shooting at me. And it's just a great little shot, great little scene, all about detail. So this is a bit of a focus stack. I say a bit of a focus stack. This is definitely a focus stack. The little knob in front of me is really, really close. The cracks and the crevices go pretty deep into this tree. So I want to try to get all of that stuff in focus, really show the character of this thing and all of the weathered patterns in this wood. So that's the setup on this one. Here, I'll show you here what we were looking at here. Here you can see my little weathered knob right in front of me, right there. This is my main character, and this little bit of red going on here. Got this little knob coming down, right down over here, a little nub shooting off on the bottom left-hand side of my frame. Again, like I said, gonna focus stack this one. Probably gonna be, I don't know. I've got this camera set up to take 35 shots. I think that's way more than I need, but that's beyond safe, and the memory card will take it, and it doesn't cost me a thing to do that. So whole bunch of safety shots, focusing on this near knob, and just letting the camera focus all the way through. Shooting this at an ISO 100 f/16 1/30th of a second. Focus on that near knob. underexposed by about 2/3 of a stop to just kind of help accentuate that color, darken down those shadows, and really make this thing just kind of pop. It's just a beautiful little tree, and I really like it. I really do love it. So wonderful. All right, let's pack up and see if I can get further than 20 feet this time, shall we? What a fantastic day. Thanks, little rock. You're a great chair. Oh, I think I got my ant. I think I got my ant friend in that one. All right, friends. This shot took me some doing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been messing around in these, what I think are manzanita bushes. Correct me in the comments below if you know what these are, because I'm guessing. But I've been messing around in here for probably 35 minutes trying to find a shot. These bushes are awesome. They die back every year and then regrow with this fresh, beautiful green lush growth and this beautiful soft exposed skin is the best I can come up with. So you get these branches that are like half dead with this gray washed out wood and then this bright vibrant red color going on as well on the same branch, both alive and dead. It's amazing and it's gorgeous to look at. And I found this great little knot right down here in the gray dead wood, and right below it is that fresh new red wood. So I'm going to show you here what we are looking at so you can see what I'm talking about. Now this shot, shooting in tight, 70 to 200 millimeters. I'm probably around 100 millimeters with my close-up filter on there, and that's to get in tight and get these details of this wood. And here you can see just this beautiful dead wood here. Got this nice fresh red wood down here, and in the still frame I got a little more of that new fresh wood underneath it, and a little more of the gray up the top. This is probably going to end up being a 16:9 to just kind of help accentuate that length of this branch. And I got one shot with an ant crawling over the top, which was great. And I think I got the ant in focus. This is a focus stack again because I'm so close. There's a little bit of depth with that nub coming out with the knot and all the patterns and the texture. So just focus stack mostly for safety on that and to catch that little ant friend. But oh, after much shuffling around in the bushes, I got this shot and I'm really happy with it. So I'm gonna pack it up now, keep on going, see what else we can find in these hills. Beautiful, beautiful hills. Friends, here we are, yet another shot. This one I'm excited about. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been eyeballing this shot, had this shot in my brain on the drive up. I saw off the side of the road all the way up the winding road here, these agave seed stalks, these narrow leaf agave plants, and their seed stalks shooting up, and they're stark white, and they're just great contrast to everything else going on around them. And the patterns in the bark, I'm gonna air quote bark here, are really cool. They're just this kind of like diagonal lines running all the way down it, and that's what this shot is. This is just the patterns of this bark, this trunk, the seed stalk that is really intriguing me. The shot's pretty straightforward. I'm shooting this at an ISO 100 f/5.6, 1/800th of a second. It's in the sunlight, it's great. 5.6 is to actually let that background fall completely out of focus. I don't want to see it. This is all about that bright, light colored seed stalk and the patterns in it, and letting that background fall completely out of focus. I'll show you here what I'm talking about. So shooting at 200 millimeters to fill my frame as much as I can, but here's this beautiful seed stalk, and you can see these just great patterns and lines in it that are so amazing, and I love that. That's what this shot's about. I've had this kind of in the back of my brain, as I said, since the drive up, so I'm really happy to have found this one. Just a wee bit off the trail, but not far, and it's gorgeous. Thanks, little agave buddy. got another shot. And we are at the peak of Mount Hillier. This is it. It's gorgeous up here, it's beautiful. The good news is we're not halfway through the trail, but we are done going uphill. It's all downhill from here. Fingers crossed, because my little chubby self is feeling it today. We are also at altitude, so there's that. But this shot is this tiny little pine cone. This is the coolest pine cone. It's just got these claws that are coming at me, and they're closing up really tight up at the tip. So it just kind of looks like this, I don't know, like a gateway to another universe or something that's been closed and is closely guarded. The pine cones up here are enormous. This is what most of them look like. It's the size of my head, this thing. But this guy in front of me, it's pretty wee. He's like, I don't know, slightly smaller than a tennis ball maybe. But shooting in close, shooting with my 70-200 with the close-up filter, because I really want to fill the frame with all this detail, which also means I'm doing a focus stack. So probably about 16 to 20 images or more to get this every bit in focus front to back. There's so much detail and so many things going on with all of these little claws and clusters coming right at me. Show you here what we are looking at on the back of the camera. If we can focus it, there we go a little bit. So you can see just this great maw of a pine cone coming right at us with all that texture. It's just dried out and weathered again, like a lot of the trees around here. So this is just really interesting and fun to look at. I just saw this guy sitting on the ground and there was no way I was walking past it. So really, really happy for this one. Shooting this at ISO 100 5.6. 1/800th of a second. That 5.6 isn't going to hurt me too bad because again, focus stacking, and I'm taking so many images that it should come out pretty good. Fingers crossed. Holy smokes, it is gorgeous here. So beautiful. All right, friends, we've made it down off Mount Hillier, and the trail ended up winding through what I would call a pine desert. It was really pretty, gorgeous to look at. Not a lot of photography opportunities, not in these conditions in this light. And the trail just kind of comes down and dumps you back here onto the campsite road that leads you back to the camp where the car is parked. So I think we're going to call it a day. Beautiful day it was. I came out here not really knowing what to expect, thinking I'd probably end up doing some close-up intimate scenes, and that's exactly what I got. And I am very happy with it, very happy with my day. This was a beautiful outing, a beautiful park, a fantastic escape from the hectic world of real life. And I'm so happy I came, and I'm so happy you came along with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And if you'd like to see some more of my work, please head on over to toddhphoto.com. Over there I've got all the images I've been taking throughout the years, and while you're there, I would love it if you signed up for my mailing list. I just mail out my blog. You get advance access to my blog twice a month, images included with a link to my shop where you can download that image for $1 and any of the images that have been featured in past blogs. And while you're there, if you're really interested in supporting me, check out my fine art print section there. I have a selection of some of my personal favorites up for sale as fine art prints. But I just want to thank you all for coming along with me. And from the Mount Hillier Loop Trail here in the San Gabriel Mountains, so long, and we'll see you next time.